Hey guys, after I mentioned in my bag video that I would do a video about knives, I got a lot of DMs, so I figured I just finished shooting today and I'm kind of here, and I thought I'd do a quick video for you guys going over the three that I kind of have with me. Like I mentioned, I carry a lot of different of these like knives and stuff because they're super useful. I mean, obviously they're not a replacement for like a full toolkit if you're actually going to go build stuff. If I'm off like on set, like building sets and doing things like that, I have like a regular toolkit. Maybe we'll do a whole video on that, who knows. But these I always keep with me because they're always good to have. So I have three that I'm going to go over. One of them, this one, I keep in my lighting, my small lighting kit that I keep like my data lights and stuff in. This one here I keep in my camera bag. And this one I keep in my backpack that I carry with me all the time. I sometimes end up using it for photo stuff if I just don't have anything else with me, but it's also kind of a life tool, so I have it in there. So, all right, I'll start with the big one first. So this is the Victorinox Multi-Tool. I think it's called XS. I'll put the links in the description. This is the full tool, like with the ratchet and everything, so I'll just kind of go through what you got in here. So this is, I'm going to use the Mevo here and pinch in so you guys can see better. So basically you've got this like kind of leather pouch, right? You can see with all the junk in it. In it you've got your tool. You've got this, which is the kind of the bits and the ratchet, right? And then in this particular one, you can get this in different flavors. In this particular one, there's an extension. And then there's this thing here, which is basically a corkscrew, and it's got a little kind of eyeglasses. Show you. It's got a little eyeglasses screwdriver inside of it. You know, so you can fix your eyeglasses or whatever. And the corkscrew, you just you clamp onto here, like that. So if you have to open a bottle on location. Now you might think, how often do you have to do that? But actually, if you do food photography and stuff, you know, more often than you would think. So. Corkscrews usually, you know, somewhat useful, which I'll talk about in a second. The Ratchet Kit is pretty cool. It comes with, I didn't lose any, it comes with 2 empty spaces. So if you want to put, I guess if there's a size that you use a lot, you can put in there. You've got your regular screwdrivers, kind of like a super skinny one, a really fat one, so they're not the standard, and then you've got like some hexes and stuff. So figure out what you use the most, I guess, and if you want to add extra. And again, it's a little ratchet, so you can, you know, ratchet it like that. Pretty cool, useful, believe it or not. I've used it quite a bit on sets. It does come with this piece, which you can either use as an extension to give yourself some leverage, right? Or you can use it as an L to fit into spaces where you can't normally fit stuff. The other thing that you can do is you can put it in this way and then put your bit at that end, giving yourself like a long screwdriver. So if you want the extra length and you don't need the ratchety part, like if you're going in at something. So really useful. Again, I break out my regular ratchet set if I'm actually going to be doing work, but I'll tell you what, in a pinch, this is fantastic to put stuff together. It's super, super useful. And you can get this tool, I guess, without all this stuff, I'm pretty sure. So, you know, it's cheaper that way. So yeah, that's the little pouch. So the tool itself, you know, these are all kind of similar, so I'm not going to go too crazy about this, but you know, as per usual, you've got your kind of pliers, all-purpose pliers, wire cutters, which is really useful. Especially, I mean, I find myself using this a lot more in filmmaking, which is why it's in that kit, because I cut a lot of wires and do stuff when I'm messing with lighting. You do that a lot less with flash. So what I do like about this, which some knives do and some don't, is that you can access the tools without opening it. Some of them you have to go inside to open it. So you can keep this thing closed and pull. I think every tool is accessible from here. So you've got like your regular screwdrivers. It is lock, you know, it is a lock mechanism. So you can, you know, you got to unlock it to do that. It has a blade. Again, you can look, I'll put a link so you can see all the tools that are in it. But realistically, as photographers, we generally use the blade and a couple of different screwdrivers. But every once in a while, one of those like oddball tools becomes useful, and you're just like, oh, that's cool. Like that's a little, you know, and again, like a can opener might not seem that useful, but when you got to open a can, it's certainly useful, and bottle openers and stuff like that. So this is the one, like I said, I keep this with my lighting kit. This is by far the most expensive of the ones I'm going to show you. over $100 for sure. I mean, prices change, so I'm not going to say the price in the video, but I'll put a link. This is the Victorinox Multi-Tool. I think it's called Spirit. Anyways. All right, so that's that. That's the one I keep in my lighting kit. I'll just put that on and get on my way. Probably just pulled on my microphone, sorry guys. Okay, the other one, the one that I showed you in the lighting, in the bag video rather, is actually the one that I had in that one was the Wingman. This is kind of a slightly cheaper version of the Wingman. This is called the Wave. No, this is called the Rev. I have so many of these different things. I'll put it in the description, but it's called the Rev. I believe the only difference between this and the Wingman is the Wingman has scissors and this one does not. This is more just a knife. I actually got this one because I didn't have a knife with me, and I bought this at like a convenience store type thing, one of those like packages. Because like I think I was flying somewhere, I didn't take my knife in my bag, then I went out and I didn't have something, so I literally went out and bought this. It's relatively expensive, less than 50 bucks. You know, and Leatherman is a decent brand, so it's gonna last. Again, like the other one, it's got your little clippers, so you can grab stuff. I'll punch in so you guys can see it closer. So you got that facility. What I do like about this, and also the Wingman is like this, is that it has a belt clip. So I think this came with the nylon sheath, but I don't know what I did with it. I clip it onto myself when I want to use it. That's actually why I like this the most. You don't have to put it in your pocket. Also, this one, the knife, you can access from the outside. With the knife is probably the thing you're going to use the most. Mine's all dirty because I used it. It is a lock blade like the other one, so it doesn't fly open on you. All the other tools, you got to open it for. So, I mean, you can open it up like this and pull out whatever you want. You know, you got a bunch of tools on here. These fall under the you probably won't ever use them tools side. Luckily, they put those all together. On the other side, you've got your more practical. Yeah, you've got your Phillips and you've got your flathead screwdriver. Actually, I think the Wingman also this is changeable. I don't think it comes with other ones, but you can get them. I have to look into that. I can't remember. I haven't used my Wingman in a while. But yeah. Anyways, that's that one. The Rev by Leatherman. It's the one I keep in my camera bag. I feel like in the camera bag, you always want to have the pliers and the knife. I mean, you think that pliers aren't that useful, but every once in a while you got to reach into something and turn it, or a nut stuck or whatever, and you know, super useful. Again, that's the Rev. So Leatherman's a good company if you guys don't know. All right, finally I have this one. This one I just had in my backpack. This one it does not come with the cord on there, but I recommend that you know, paracord is super useful. So if you have some paracord floating around, you know, you put a little bit on your knife. I always have this with me. It's got paracord. If I ever need to tie something down, again, you know, tie a bag to make a thing, whatever, you'd be surprised how often you use that. This, I went with the Corkscrew. Now, the other one that I actually like a lot that I don't have with me today is called the Tinker. The Tinker is very similar to this. I think it's got maybe 2 more tools, but instead of the Corkscrew, it has a Phillips head, which is actually really useful if you actually want to use it like a tool. This one's got the Corkscrew, again, for opening wine and stuff. It has the Corkscrew. It's got your bottle opener / flathead screwdriver. Oh, let me pinch in for you guys. / flathead. It does not have a Phillips head, unfortunately. It does have scissors though, which is another reason why I like this one. Again, for like real life stuff versus photo stuff, having scissors and a corkscrew is actually more useful than some other things. And of course, just like anything, it has knife. This is not a lock blade. You know, just like most Swiss Army knives. I don't want to say all because I don't know. So yeah, be careful with this one, kids. This one's not a lock blade. It does have, actually referring back to the paracord thing, it's got this this thing, which if you're a Swiss Army knife, you might be wondering what that is. That's for like if you were to like carry packages or whatever, you tie the rope, you put that through, and you can kind of carry it like a handle. So that's really what that's for. And you can use it to pull stuff if you really need it to. So that's useful. And not the most useful tool in the world, but it's there. I always wonder like how they decide what tools go into what knives. You always want to make like your perfect knife, but no one ever has exactly what you want. But I think this one's pretty good overall as like a just carry in your pocket every day one. And again, it was in just my backpack. The other things that it has, which are kind of fun and occasionally useful, are a ballpoint pen, And in today's world where we don't write anything down usually, so we all just use our phones, nobody's carrying pens anymore, so suddenly you have to sign a check or something, you know. It does have a toothpick, and it also has tweezers, which your clients will love you if they ever get a splinter and you're able to pull it out because you have tweezers. Really useful for that. So yeah, I went through a phase where I bought like a ton of these kinds because they're so cheap. I think this was like $25 or whatever. I'll look it up, and again I'll put it in the thing. They're just so damn useful, you know. So I started putting them in all my bags. But of course I wanted variety, so I put different ones in every bag. But if you just get one, and I'll find a link to that too. But I would probably go with the Tinker because you get that Phillips head. And if you're watching this, I'm presuming that you do some kind of photography, and that's why you're on my channel. If you're just a random person that wanted to know about knives, I love this one. You know, Corkscrew. Yeah, get that bottle of wine. You're getting ready to drink it, and all of a sudden you're like, I have a Corkscrew. I can't tell you the number of times, especially in hotels, that happens. And this guy's small enough and cheap enough that I don't mind just throwing it in my luggage. Speaking of traveling, because you can check this stuff, you can't carry it on, I don't think. That changes, so I'll say you can't because you're always safer to say you can't. So this is the kind of thing that I'll throw in my check bag, and if somehow it went missing, you know, while the baggage people were handling it, it's not the end of the world because it's cheap. So yeah, these are some knives. I guess let me know what you guys use. It's funny, as I was thinking about this, not that I would ever use it on a photo shoot, I was thinking about how, like, in the 80s we all had, as kids, we all had these, like, Rambo knives, they call them, with all the tools in the back. And I guess for me that's kind of the precursor to this. I always like to have some tools with me because you just never know when you're going to need it. In fact, a few years back I gave, as a holiday present to all my guys, I gave them various Leathermans so that just in case I didn't have one, somebody would have one. So they're that useful. I love to have them. Let me know what you guys use, for number one, if you use them at all. If you like them, if you've had any that you've had success with, if you have any that suck and you don't think they're a good idea. What else do you guys carry that are like this that you just always have with you? I used to always carry a tiny flashlight, but now my phone is a flashlight. So I very rarely carry a flashlight except in my camera bags. But in my, you know, my regular walk around bag, I don't carry a flashlight. So yeah, let me know, guys. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the bell. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.